Okay, we're live in 10. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, how's everybody doing? I'm on the road. We're having some difficulty getting it all together today, but I'm just so excited to have the opportunity to be in a financial situation where I can be mobile. My mother passed a couple of months ago, and I'm spending a little time in Carolina with my father, and I'm just so excited. And while I'm here, my niece decided that I needed to, since I was such a great football player, Mr. Rogers, and she remembered that she think I can coach, so she wanted me to coach a little league Pop Warner football group. So I'm working with that today. So I'm excited about what God is doing for us. I need you here, Mr. Rogers, to help me with these little boys. But we're thankful for this day. It's a great, beautiful day here in the Carolinas, and we're excited about what's going on. Of course, we're praying for all those families down in Miami with that building falling the way it did, and we just want to pray because we understand their grief and we understand that it hurts a lot, and so we just want to keep praying for them. And certainly, we're happy to have you on, whether you're Facebook, whether you're Zooming, however you're doing it, radio. We're excited to have you. And today we're excited because we have a fantastic couple with us. Germaine and Necole Walker are with us, and we're excited to have them with us. And also we have our regular brain thrust of Miss Dyer, Mr. Rogers, and Dr. Byfoot. Can you guys, Miss Dyer, Mr. Rogers, can you say, Dr. Byfoot, can you say hello to the audience?
Well, absolutely, I can say hello. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Just let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to our broadcast Hidden in Plain Sight. Now, today, we're talking about the OG Walker system and how important it is to be your own bank and how they've incorporated that with their success. So I'm definitely excited to be here with our guests. So of course, welcome. I'm happy to be here with you, Bishop, of course, my colleagues, and to all of you, rejoice904.com, as well as our listening audience, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Hello to each and every last one of you all. And I definitely want to give our guests the opportunity to speak, to say hello. So I'm going to turn this over and officially welcome Germaine and Necole Walker.
Wait a minute. That's not how we do this. That's not how we do this. That is not how we do this. Before they say anything, I got to say this. Bishop. Your niece has great faith in you. I'm glad she does. She has great faith in you that you are Pop Warner coach. I know it's exciting. Hey, but listen up. You are in for a treat this afternoon. Our Facebook family, our rejoice904.com. Here's what I need you to do before we get started, because our guests, they have some nuggets that are very essential. So before we even introduce them, I need you, those who are listening right now, I need you to go to your social media page, your Facebook page, your Twitter, Instagram, whatever, smoke signal, whatever it is. I need you to like it. I need you to send it, because this information that's going to be shared this afternoon, this evening, is too important for you not to be able to absorb these nuggets from these amazing individuals. And once again, big shout out to Bishop. Thank you so much for always having a heart, guiding us through this path, ensuring that this information is no longer hidden in plain sight. The trade was for herself, Miss Tasha M. Dyer, and then the one and only, the one and only, the only one, the one and only, the one and only, the one and only, Doctor, the finance doctor himself, the one who still plays flag football on Wednesdays because he think he still got it going on, none other than Dr. Greg Bywood, the finance doctor.
So first of all, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. To everyone in our listening audience, please know that it is always a pleasure for me to greet you each and every Tuesday. I hope everyone listening to our voice is ready for an hour of expansion so that you can get closer to being a vibrational match to your desires. Let me welcome our guests, Germaine and Necole Walker. And for those of you that want a little bit of a peek behind the scenes, let me let you know that they are in fact a real couple. I confirmed it during the pre-show because she told him what to do and he did it. Boom.
So before they speak, let me tell you a little bit about who they are. Right, let's do this the right way, right? So as Mr. Rogers stated, now I'm definitely excited because these are some phenomenal individuals. These are individuals who understand what's required and they're willing to put in the work for success. So we're talking about a master barber, right? Someone who is well known, OG Walker system, someone who has just been successful, and I mean he knows what he's doing. He's got a skill set, and then as our stylist, right? Our stylist. And this is a young lady who is also a BYOB wealthy woman. I have to put that out there. But at the same time, she's a stylist, she's a realtor. And I mean, we're just talking about someone who has just, literally last year in the middle of a pandemic, won Businesswoman of the Year. So I'm excited. So let me welcome Germaine and Necole Walker.
Thank you. Just glad to be here, just to share some nuggets and be on the platform with you all. I have not yet been on the platform with all of you at the same time, so I'm definitely excited and grateful to be here.
Yes, and it just is, it's just such a pleasure to share some nuggets today. I want some of my barbers, my stylists to tune in and lock in and listen to what we have to tell you, because we've been in this business probably combined about a good 50, 60 years together. So we've seen the good times, we've seen the bad times, and now since joining the BYOB, I've learned how to be better at what I do. I've learned how to better my system. So I'm not going to break it all down to you yet, because we will give it to you, but just making this an opportunity to grow, making this an opportunity that you will never be the same. After this broadcast, I expect you to be better.
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that.
So turn it back over to you, Ms. Dyer.
Oh wait, Bishop, I think you muted out. We really having some technical difficulties today. Bishop, you are muted.
You probably trying to talk.
I didn't mute me. Who muted me?
Who cut my computer off? Who knows?
Well, I'm staying with my sister up here, and my mother passed in the room next to the den, and I went to sleep the other night, and I woke up and the whole chair was shaking. And I said, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" And my dad said, "Well, next time just tell her we're doing fine." And so stranger things are happening. But we're so certainly happy to have both of you with us today, and we're excited for the information that you are going to share. But our normal format is that we have a scripture, because we try to have a scripture to base things that we talk about on this particular show. And so, Ms. Dyer, do you have Philippians chapter 2, I think it's 1 through 9?
I think I have it. Let's try.
Yeah, and make sure you read all the verses too. It's okay.
Okay, we're not gonna go there. Now I'm gonna tell you, my computers, it was like they just stopped. So we're not gonna clown me right now. We're not gonna do it. All right, so let me go ahead and read now. Okay, anyway. Therefore, if you have encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any common sharing in the spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and one mind. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking for your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. In your relationship with one another, have the same mindset as Jesus Christ, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself by being obedient to death, even death on a cross. Therefore, God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name.
Now I'm excited about this scripture. Well, I really got excited when I heard we had a wonderful couple, that's often been referred to as a power couple, on the show with us. And I said, man, that's just tremendous. And so Paul takes this passage here and he talks about partnership, partnership in business, partnership in our relationships with one another, partnerships in marriage, and just partnership in general. He talks about some things that are necessary, things that are important. That's what I want us, hope we can talk about today, because certainly when a couple can work together and become financially successful and do that on a continuous basis is something that all of us can take note of and be excited to understand. And so I understand, Germaine and Necole, that you have companies together and you do business together. Tell me how that works for you.
Woo.
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, how does that work? So let me say this first. Before me and Germaine met, I said that I would never date a barber, right? And he said that he would never date a stylist. So moving forward, I married a barber.
And I married a stylist.
and we're together. So it only made sense to do business together. However, I do understand not every husband is a great business partner. Not every business partner is a great husband. And I'm just fortunate and grateful to know that I do have a business partner as my husband. So that's first. I think you do have to create a balance, right? Where we might say, okay, because the thing is we work at a salon 3 times a week,
3 times a week
together. When we're home, we're doing product and talking business and talking about classes in the future and different things of that such. But there are times where we set aside where, okay, we're not talking about business today.
Yeah.
We're not talking about this today. And then sometimes that's hard because we're in the same industry and we both have a love and a passion for what we do. Sometimes it's hard and we have to almost force ourselves to not talk about business. So I think it's just a certain level of respect for each other. If I'm doing too much, he know how to come in. Yeah. Okay, you're doing too much. Or if I feel like he needs a break or, he need to take a rest, I'll step in. So it's just being mindful and having that level of respect for each other when you have to know how to balance it out.
Is that true, Germaine, or did she make that up?
No, sir, that's true. Honestly, one of the first things that really attracted us to each other was it was like looking in the mirror of a female version of myself. And she looked at me like, wow, this is the male version of myself. So it just only made sense because we are like-minded individuals. We wake up in the morning with I wake up on 10 and a half.
I can't say I wake up.
She don't wake up on 10. She warms up. but it's like
I think you're in concert with what the scripture says in verse 2 of chapter 2 of Philippians. It said, fulfill my joy that you be of the same mind, having the same love, being in one accord and in one mind. The mindset is one of the important things that the Apostle Paul points out. What makes a good partnership is when you have the same mindset.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And also too, what happens is what's special about us is both of us are really, really in high demand in our own respected, skill sets. Because think about it, if she was there doing hair all day and only cut two heads, that's going to make a sort of division between us because she's making the money and I've only did 2 haircuts all day. So that's going to cause a division, vice versa. So by us, both of us may be in that shop together at days, but we're working. We're driving, we're working. We may meet at the shampoo bowl, but it's not like we have time to be all just hang out. We're working, we got clients, so that's kind of what's special about our relationship.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Ms. Dyer, you have questions? Mr. Rogers, you have questions? Dr. Byfoot, you have questions?
I do have one. So one of the things that I had the blessing to participate in is I was a financial planning marriage counselor for a church for 11 years. So I got an opportunity to speak to many couples, hear the way in which they deal with the interaction of money. And we all know money is an energy. And so one of the things that I noticed was that many of the couples had two different perspectives on how to manage money, how to spend money. How have the two of you managed that particular topic?
You want me to go?
You can go.
It is definitely one of the top conversations that takes place. One thing I do realize is if you look at statistics, finances is one of the number one reasons people split up or divorces happen and take place. So when it goes back to being like-minded, understanding what it is that we're doing, where we're trying to go, what it's going to take to get there, and then more than anything, discipline and being consistent. So I think meeting at the round table on a consistent basis, being open and transparent with each other. I know I feel like I'm probably more of the spender than the saver, but I realize my weaknesses.
Yes, yes.
Because you're looking crazy. But but I do realize that, and I respect that, and that's another thing I think that keeps us balanced. Germaine has a hard time telling me no, but he will say like not today, or he might say next week, he'll say anything but no. So he loves to say, I don't tell her no, but he has his way of saying no. And if I can just put this out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a difference between Germaine and OG. It's the same body, but it's two different individuals. So Germaine kind of give me, leeway, kind of, spoil me, all of that. OG is a whole nother beast when it comes down to business and finances. So I respect that.
Yeah. But honestly, just throughout us being this short time of being married, being married and getting into the whole engagement, I've seen her, be more mindful of what she does spend, because because it's like, I can't go out right now and make a big purchase and come home with some jet skis and haven't discussed with my wife. That's just not going to happen. And same thing with her. You can't come home with a new table set that costs, $4,500, and we haven't discussed that. So it's just respecting each other and understand that that we're trying to grow together. So that's why
effective communication.
Yeah, effective communication with respecting that we all are adults, but we are respecting each other.
So I have a question based on the two different people, right? One being OG, I want to, speaking of finances and money, and then the fact that, kind of tailoring it back to, we know that's important. You all actually had success during a pandemic.
Wow.
And also you were able to win Businesswoman of the Year. And so even with your success, I want you guys to talk about your success that you had. What's pushed you? And now we have the OG Walker system. And why is it important to incorporate a skill set, and why you want other people who are in your shoes, live your lifestyle, to also be a part of a movement that's going to build that wealth for them?
Okay, you want me to go first?
I know it's a few
Yeah,
questions.
because she said
Okay.
she asked about
Well,
12 questions.
I'll do the back end question first while it's fresh on my mind. And what's going on with the OG Walker system? And I break it down to 3 simple words: cut, cash, preserve. If I teach you how to cut, you will make the cash. And that's why I used to stop at. I'm going to teach you how to cut. I'm going to teach you how to make cash. But what happens is, when we step from behind that chair, the cash aspect stops. So when I learned about preserving and making your wealth grow, now that's a whole nother part of my system there, because, my mentor called me out on my wedding, not called me out, but like, you should be taking a couple weeks off. I'm like, nah, I can't do that, and long story short, we chit-chatted about it. And he said, next time I ask you to take 1 or 2 weeks off, you need to be able to walk away from that chair and take off. And that just kind of made me even more get into the preserving aspect of it, so that we can learn how to make our money. Because think about it, Barbers and stylists, we touch the most money, and we're the brokest people. I'm gonna say it again. Barbers and stylists touch the most money in their hands. But when we 45, 50 years old, we might not have $50 in the back in the room. And the only 50 we got is rolling around our pockets. Because we touch so much money, we touch it so much that we don't know how to preserve it. So once we're learning now how to preserve it, we could take weekends off, take vacations off, and not be stressing out about how we're going to pay the bills, how's the money going to come. That's part of the system now. Teach you how to preserve your wealth, how to make your wealth grow. Because I took the day off. It's my first Tuesday I took off in a long time. So, and not that it's a financial, it's just literally we get married to the chair. We get in love with the chair more than we get in love with anything else. So I just took me a quick little divorce from the chair today and just took off.
You gonna marry back again tomorrow?
I'm gonna marry back tomorrow, but I'm off today.
Okay, and if I could just kind of piggyback on what Germaine said, even me being so young, I've always believed in multiple streams of income, right? And at one point it was a choice, it was an option, but even with the pandemic, it's more of a necessity now than anything. So with everything that I do, when the pandemic hit, it kind of put everything at a standstill. And that's when I really began to appreciate the BYOB movement even more. And
Exactly.
Just even to commend Germaine, because when we first met, he would hear me on the calls, he would hear, meetings, he would hear, one-on-one coaching with Mr. Rogers, he would hear, me and you, Ms. Dyer, our conversations, and I never pushed and primed him into being a part of the movement. I knew at some point it would spark his interest, and that's what I love, because for me, I if I have to push you to do it and try to, prime you to do it, it's going to be frustrating. So when he came along and he just saw how things were growing, even just personally, even in business, he's like, I got to be a part of this. So for me yes, I love being behind the chair. It's my passion. But at the end of the day, when I decide to step from behind the chair, the money should be there. The money is going to be there. It will be there. It's there. So with this movement, when clients stop, when people stop buying clothes or another product comes out that, outsell your product, this skill set is something that nobody can take from you. And again, I've heard you say it, like, you only have to learn it once. You only have to learn it once. So if you make that commitment 30, 45 minutes a day, that commitment to educate yourself on the platform, learn this skill set, you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it. And that's truly financial freedom. That's the freedom
that we don't experience in the barber and hairstylist world, because like I'm telling you, a lot of time it's not so much about the money we're missing, but it's just about, I can't miss this client. He's going to leave. If I don't show up Friday, he's going to go to somebody else. I don't want to say I don't care, because I respect my business, but that's fine.
If you got a deal tomorrow, they'll be fine. Trying to find another barber.
They'll find another barber stylist. So now it's just me, and I've been doing this for 34 years now. And actually, just after getting part of the movement, it's kind of teaching me to be more of a better businessman. I've always been a great barber, but I think I was terrible as a businessman, terrible as a owner, because I just basically let you do what you need to do. But now being part of the movement is teaching me how to be a better man. And a lot of my Instagram followers just seen me get better, but they didn't know behind me being better as a businessman, products was the movement. Like, the movement helped push me and elevate me to do a lot of things different. And then this beautiful lady I married, she definitely pushed me.
So kind.
She pushed me and boosted me to be better as well. So with all that together, it just made me a better man and a better businessman.
I have a question, and as we're talking about this in the context of what Jesus did, Jesus was very God, but he made himself no reputation. So, Mr. Walker, when the conversation was brought to you about, being able to take 2 or 3 weeks off, how did you take that? Did you take that personal as if whoever shared that information with you, how did you take that? Because the relationship not only through the movement, but the mentorship and the coaching. Did you get offended by that conversation, or did it bring you a deeper perspective?
No, it just, I felt that at that time I was talking to a friend of mine that has my best interest at heart, and he just gave me a gut check, not a check, not try to make me
So
feel
who was that friend? Who was that friend?
my friend, this guy, Gerald D. Rogers, great guy. He's a mentor and a friend. So according on who you ran into that day, you may run into something different, but he gave me that gut check out of love and respect, though. It wasn't like but just like a gut check, and and by me being so successful in what I do, there's only a few men could just come give me a gut check to make me really, but it made me realize that, yeah, you're right. So it made me even, turn the gears up a little more.
And I think that's very important for our listening audience to understand that Jesus himself, and I think it's verse 5 or 6, I'm not sure, but he made himself of no reputation. And because of that, he was willing to do everything out of obedience, even down to his own agenda and his own thought process of his greatness, because he realized that the purpose of being connected was so he can be even greater. And he wasn't concerned about his own reputation. He was only concerned about doing the will of the Father. So when the two of you think about where you are right now, and you think about the fact that, you are tremendously accomplished. I mean, you have people around the globe now purchasing your products. And now that you're in a position where you physically are adding to your repertoire, talk to why this skill set is important, because being your own bank, the movement, learning this skill set. And I think you have something that many stylists need, because we know that it is a tremendous amount of cash flow. But what is it about the two of you that you can speak to your peers, your audience, and those who are even not, because people are always trying to emulate the two of you. What is it about this movement and why you feel so passionate about teaching people how to preserve their wealth?
It's on you, Miss Walker.
That's on me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's so much. Wow. Again, it's on your body. Being a stylist, it's work. You're standing all day. You're using your hands all day. You're constantly pouring into people all day. You have to, have great energy, vibrate high, and at some point, not to say that would go away, but it will. So when I think of this skill set, the financial market is not going anywhere. It has always been there and it'll always be there. So when I think of this skill set, when I can get up at 2-3 when the London market opens, and I can hop on the live trading at 5, and I can make just as much money, in those couple hours than I could make all that day. It kind of changed your perspective on things when it comes to anything else. Whether that's the boutique or clothing that I sell, whether that's the interior design, whether that's the fashion truck, or
exactly
anything else, all that's transactional. So when it comes to this skill set, it can be just me, and you don't even have to have a laptop now. Everything is from your mobile device. So I can be any and everywhere, still traveling, still enjoying life, experiencing that true financial freedom, because there's a skill set that I made a commitment to, to learn and just make it do what it do. So it's been a year and a half for me, and it's the best decision that I've made.
And can I add something to that? Because I know some of our listeners probably would look and say, okay, if you guys are getting up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the London market opens up, and you're making just as much as you made at the salon or can make at the salon, why go to the salon? Going to the salon is because it's our passion, it's our love, it's what we love to do. And a smart man, and I guarantee the millionaires think like this: if you got another stream of income come in, why shut off one stream? You find ways to make it work smarter for you, but you just don't say, because I got one stream that's flowing 3 or 4 o'clock, in the AM, I'm not going to take the rest of my day off just because I made some money. Now I may apply my time to other things, because I don't have to be there as much.
Right.
But I'm not just laying on the patio. Now, if I want to lay on the patio, I can. But people that's driven about trying to be successful, it's very few times they get just to lay around. So instead of at the barbershop, I may be doing something else, knowing that cushion that I've made what I need to make in the morning. And I can still use my time wisely to do something else.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Gerald D. Rogers?
Of course. Bishop, jump in there, Bishop, and
Yeah,
and
I'm on the orders to let them talk, and so I'm just trying to do that. The major.
Really,
So
really,
I know I know how to take orders, and so I'm excited about that. You know, I'm always looking back at this passage of scripture because that's how I function. But this passage talks about the temptation to become competitive as it relates to your skill sets, and like you said, one's making money and the other's not making as much money. How do you keep that all under control where you're not each other's completer, but you become each other's competitors? Because the scripture talks about putting the needs of the other before your very own, and not doing anything out of selfishness or vain thoughts of superiority, but the idea of complementing each other, and your desire is to put the other's needs before your very own, as Paul describes it. How does that work for you guys? How do you keep the competitive spirit out of your relationship?
Okay,
Good
so
question.
you know what? The crazy
That's a good
thing is, I think it's more of a healthy competition, because we both can be very competitive. I think when it comes to the relationship, because we're so like-minded, I'm always thinking, okay, I'm not going to let him outdo me, right? He has the same mindset, like, okay, I'm not going to let her outdo me.
Yes.
So in the end, we both win.
Yes.
You
Exactly.
know, so but you have to be
mature,
like-minded. You have to be
yeah.
mature and on the same page in order for that to work, where it's not bringing tension or animosity. And I push him and he pushed me. It's not always, I mean, if you think about it, like, he's a celebrity barber, he has a thousands and thousands of hundreds of thousands of followers, so he's big in that realm, when it comes to social media, and I'm not this social media guru. I have a full clientele. I stay booked up, but social media hasn't been my avenue. But with him, it's not a competition. Oh, he has more followers. If anything, I'm going to let that influence me and push me to up my following when it comes to social media. And he pushes me too. Like, I'll say, okay, Germaine, I need you to hold me accountable, and he'll say, now, if you want me to coach you, you got to let me do what I'm going to do.
Don't get mad with me now.
Right. So it's more of a healthy competition, because at the end of the day, I know he has my best interest at heart. I know he wants to see me thrive and grow in whatever that is that I'm desiring to do, and vice versa. Well, I hold him accountable for certain things. Yeah. So whatever it is in the marriage, whether that's finances, whether that's, all right, Germaine, you need to get on the platform. You need to get on the academy and study. You haven't studied. Working out. Okay, we're not supposed to be eating meat this week. So whatever it is that we're doing, we try to hold each other, accountable and push each other. So I say it's more of a healthy competition, because we both have each other interests, at heart, and we just won't. Because if he be great, it's just gonna look better
for us to be.
And vice versa. So. Yeah.
And I just think by our ages now, because if we was 21 and 24 doing this, it may not work the same. But by us being up in our 40s, it's a little different.
You're
because
not that far up in the 40s.
Well, I'm 45.
Well, so, I'm still in the lower 40s.
Well, I'm in the mid 40s. but by us being mature, it's like, because she found time on her busy schedule already to help build my brand now, which is our brand together. So now we can take that and use it to help build other companies and our other brands. So, it's a help each other, it's a help each other out. And honestly, by me just hearing her part of these meetings and Mr. Rogers and Miss Dyer, and I'm hearing this just from the distance, just kind of listening to some of the good little niggas I was just catching, walking by catching it. It just made me say, I want to be part of that too. And once
Exactly.
I had that first conversation with Mr. Rogers, it was over.
No turning back.
There wasn't no turning back. so that was, that's how that happened with me. It was great.
Yeah,
Well, that's
actually,
beautiful.
Just to add in, Germaine, you want to share with the people how during the pandemic, literally, your numbers tripled with the product line. During
that was one of my 12 or 15 questions.
Yes, it tripled during the pandemic. I don't know how, but it tripled during the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. That was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. She said one of her 12, 15 questions.
Dr. Whitewood.
Yes, sir. So I really love the fact that we're having this conversation, and I wanted to re-scripturize it, because one of the things that we talk about in this passage is how God is saying that because of my commitment to love and my commitment to joy, you can help me out by having a relationship with others. And we keep hearing this conversation, this theme that it's more than just about this couple. It's the fact that we're all in relationship with one another. And literally in verse 3, God is saying, that gives me joy. I'm sorry, verse 2, that gives me joy. So this is a conversation about wealth, it's about abundance, it's about getting along, it's about money, it's about management, it's about making good decisions, but it's really about God's love. And that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Wow, awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. Bishop, did we lose you? Did we lose you? So, okay, well, for me, I mean, when I look at, I think the answer to your question is you already answered it about you. When you talk about how did your numbers increase, you already mentioned it. You became a part of the movement and you were able to implement the things that you learned from the discipline. You're able to implement all of the things that you have the study and made you a better businessman. And so that in itself is an answer to why these things increase and why it tripled. Right. Is because you implemented different things in your life and now you've created a wealth stream. And I see you have distributors, I see all of these things. And so it's really a beautiful thing. And I'm just getting I'm looking at the comments that's coming in on YouTube. So you guys, they love you. I just want you to know, guys, they love you, couple. And so, if you could, share with anyone out there, why, it's important for us to, take this and how this movement has actually changed your life, but just give any nuggets as to why it's important to be their own bank, because I already know you're going to have something special coming up tomorrow for anyone that's been listening, your friends, anybody, where you're going to actually be able to let them know, but let them know, speak to them, what is it that you would share with them as far as why this is important? Because the reality is when you're making money, right? When you're making money, you tend to think that you're okay, right? Yes. And I was one of those people. So I know when you're making money, you tend to think that you're okay and you're good. So why are the multiple streams? Because we want to do the multiple streams right. We don't want to try to have 5 different things we're trying to build at the same time. So you have solidified who you are, your businesses. So why is this now important?
Well, it's important to me because I can just see the transition of I went, and I'm just gonna keep elaborating on this, is I went just from a regular barber to a businessman. I was told to treat this as a professional. I'm a company. And once I put in my mindset that I'm a company, I'm not just, Germaine Walker, the barber. I'm OG Walker. I am a business, I'm a company, and I started moving as a company. I started looking in ways to expand the product all over, start looking for ways for people to help spread my product as well. Because one thing I do know for sure, for this, like for the OG line to take off, I need to get out the way. I mean, literally, I need to find ways to make this work without me being here. That's what I'm getting better and working on right now as we speak. So the movement, it just helped me to start to think bigger.
Your personal development.
My personal,
increases.
yeah.
It goes to a whole nother level.
I mean, that's
with
exactly.
the movement, because it's not just about finances and money. And Ms. Dyer, you say it all the time when you say leaders are readers. So just even the personal development and the empowerment that comes behind the movement helps you as an overall individual.
Exactly.
Whether you're in the corporate world, you're working your way to get out of the corporate world, you're entrepreneur, you want to take that to the next level, multiple business. So again, not putting all your eggs in one basket, as
Exactly.
as your grandparents or people would always say, is definitely true. And then with the skill set, when everything falls,
yeah,
as long as you know that
That's
that BYOB cash out strategy,
you'll be okay. You're gonna be okay.
you will be all right. So I just encourage everybody to make the commitment. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, for people around you. And I think for me, because I have such a big heart and want to help any and everybody to be in a financial situation where I can do that, without blinking, it's just, that gives me more satisfaction than anything. And even now with my 11-year-old, every time he see me study, he want to come in because he's been asking me forever, "Mom, you got to teach me, So that even makes me go even harder, because it's like he's 11, he's
and he wants to learn.
and he wants to learn. He
And
has
she's been teaching him.
In the legacy.
So so that's even special too. So I just say step out and trust yourself and make a commitment to yourself and get it done.
So I got a question for the two of you with the greatness that the two of you already come to the table with. How easy or how difficult was it for you to come in alignment and be coached? And how difficult was it for you to receive counsel that was for your benefit, even though it kind of made you feel strained or squeezed?
Yeah. Can I answer that one?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Can I answer that? Okay. Woo. Okay. So this is the thing when you're, again, because it's not just finances. So if you've ever been mentored by Mr. Gerald D. Rogers himself, he's gonna push you. He's gonna challenge you. He's gonna slap your head. He's gonna.
I co-sign.
See? You see what I'm saying? And for real, you have to have a different, not just mindset. Like you literally have to have well, number one, you have to know that it's coming from a pure place.
Exactly.
Somebody who sees and wants something from you. They see it in you and they're just trying to help you get there. So I can't get mad at somebody because they see me and they want me to go to the next level. Yeah. Or they want me to be great. Like I can't turn that down. It almost keeps me going. No matter how much he pushed me down, kick me, I need this, I need to see this, you need to do this by now. And it's just like you want to just scream and holler and not answer the phone and oh my God, but at the end of the day, it's to make me better. It's to put me in my family and position me, to help others. And then you think about it, he don't need me. Exactly. You look at it like, even with Miss Dyer, when you have people just backing you and they're in your corner and they're constantly pushing you and helping you,
won't give up on
you. It's like won't give up on you. It's like, well, shoot, I can't give up on myself. You got Miss Dyer and Mr. Rogers backing me. I can't give up. I can't let them down. So to have that type of mentorship with the movement, that's almost, I don't know what's more important.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the money's important, but I feel too having that great mentorship. And I just really believe any man or woman that's going to be successful, they need to have people in their corner that can check them. And I mean, honestly, if you're going to be great, somebody needs to be able to pick up that phone. I've been checked by Mr. Rogers. I got about 3 other people that I know that's not coming from a place of jealousy or, hating. They see something I maybe shouldn't have posted or it didn't come out quite right, and they'll call, they'll check me, and and out of respect, I look, okay, you know what? You're right, because I know that that's growth. And they're doing, not that he don't need me, but it's just I need them to make me, a better man, a better person. So yeah, if you're gonna be great, you need some mentors in your corner that can call you and check you every now and then.
I don't know, Mr. Rogers do a little bit more than every now and then.
I'm laughing at the comments, okay? So I see, it went from I love you, I got a Kiki Morgan say, okay, Necole, I hear you. The power of your love is overflowing to, oh yeah, this pure Dr. Rogers is like, oh yeah, same way with Miss Dyer. Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers, like so.
Yeah, it's definitely worth every.
Yeah, it's worth every phone call, every text,
every hour.
Yeah, it's honestly worth it, because I mean, it's really, and just to tell the barbers and stylists again that are listening,
or any entrepreneur,
it don't have to.
Barbers and stylists, like even if you're, for instance, like you mentioned Kiki, and I'm just gonna put her out there because I know she's listening. My sister, sometimes it takes that leap of faith. Like seriously, you have to just close your eyes and jump. Literally walk with your eyes closed. Yep. If you want to better yourself and position yourself, like you have to do something different. Like they say insanity, that's doing the same thing, expecting different results. Exactly. So if you're tired of being where you are and you're trying to get to the next level, especially when it comes to finances, they say money ain't everything, but it's up there close to oxygen.
I hear it all the time. I'm like, try to pay some bills without it. I don't know. Somebody who wasn't ready to commit to themselves is the one who said that first.
Exactly. you got to understand it determines what you eat, how you eat, where you go, how long you stay,
what you drive.
Everything we do.
It determines all of that.
It determines a lot. And, we all say, oh, it's not all about money. But at the end of the day, it's all about, money. I'd rather have something not need it than need something.
Not have it, right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Now I'm gonna tell you, might hear that again. I give you credit the first time.
Oh, actually, that's my saying. So
I'm wondering. I missed a lot of conversation. My computer died, and I had to come inside McDonald's and re-hook up. But,
I was saying he done switched up.
Yeah. I'm sure I missed a lot. I have to look at the recording. But I'm wondering, Germaine or Necole, is there a certain amount that you can spend without asking each other? Like, can you buy a fishing rod versus buying a new Mercedes without having conversation with each other? Can you buy
That's an extreme. You said a fishing rod or a new Mercedes. Boy,
said that he can't get keys in the table. I think
what level of spending do you have to talk about? And how much freedom do you have?
All right, if I want some shoes or something, I'll go get that. But I wouldn't go buy a new flat screen for the house.
Anything over $350 needs to be.
Yeah, it needs to be discussed. And I would ask her, hey, I seen a new TV I want. Like she been told me.
You don't really ask. You be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this TV. And what you think?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be like, no TV.
Yeah.
How that works?
But if it's something else needs to be done, that money can go toward.
You do
I would be like, let's take care of this first, then I'll treat myself. But there's not much I even look for.
Well, now my you say shoes. That's interesting because my ex-wife used to go to Miami and buy red bottom shoes.
Yeah, see, that's a different shoe.
Is that the same kind of shoe you're talking about? Or you talking about a village shoe?
I'm talking about tennis shoes, Jordans, a little something like that. I ain't talking about no.
Yeah, Bishop. Because red bottom, you can buy like 4 flat screen TVs.
Yeah,
with mountain red bottom.
Yes. So nah.
So if he say I can go buy some shoes, I can go buy some red bottom.
Yeah.
And not buy I'm just making sure you heard what you said.
Long as we good, long as we, we got to talk about, got to bring it to the round table.
Okay, we'll bring it
to the round table, the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah, we have to talk about the round table,
Yeah. Well, that's good. I was just thinking about that.
I have a question on that lines as well. And this is, we try to make sure that, the information not hidden in plain sight. And we all know we're talking about, what is it to spend when it comes to things of entertainment. But what is that dynamic when it comes to, and where are we at? And for our listening audience to understand, is it a need of an agreement for a man to do anything that from a business perspective that's going to enhance the home and vice versa? Is that necessary? Should that be a conversation? Because we have plenty of times where men say, I got to talk to my wife about, being involved in learning this skill set. What's your thoughts on that? How can we help couples? How we can, when it comes to things of that nature?
Well, this is the thing. When it comes to this skill set and you're investing in yourself, you're making a commitment for yourself that's going to help you and your family, right, achieve financial freedom. There's just certain things that I'm not going to Germaine with. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not, because this is for the betterment of both of us. And he trusts me that I'm going to make a decision, a great decision for our family. Okay, so how is it that I have to ask him to go buy some shoes for $300, but you can't spend $300 to invest in a skill set?
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And when you think about, and I've had people, look crazy when it comes to different prices and, the investment that you make in yourself to learn the skill set. People spend money on what they want to spend money
Exactly.
on. Let's just be honest. Let's just put it out there. People spend money on what they want to spend money on. And when you break it down, even when we talk about just the tuition, I'm going to call it tuition, of the educational platform that you would need to learn the skill set, you're talking about $9 a day. We blow that on the regular. And I'm saying we as a people, not just saying me and Germaine.
Yeah.
So you have to make up in your mind that this is what you're going to do, make the commitment and do it. It's not even about the dollar, because it's just what you get from the movement, what you get from the skill set, so far past a dollar amount to
exactly.
It's ridiculous. So no, there's no, when it's certain business decisions that's going to better the family, it's not open for discussion.
But also too, I think it too, Mr. Rogers, I think is knowing your spouse, is knowing who you're with. If you have a like-minded individual with you and y'all, want to do things like this, it's fine. But if you got one that their mindset is not there, they always want to, I don't think we should do this, or no, we need to be safe, then you may keep that from them. And just, honestly, not to start troubling no one's home. But if you got a person that's only gonna dream so far, you have to take
that's trouble.
You gotta.
I'm not saying trying to disrupt nobody's household, but when you got a person that knows negative, sometimes your spouse is negative. Let's try this.
Or they're not a risk taker.
Or they're not a risk taker. Yeah. I'm not saying risk it all, but I'm just saying.
But the reality with that is like, if I'm doing something for my family, as Miss Walker just said, that's ultimately, you want to be able to make decisions. And at some point you have to be, it's not about causing problems, but at some point you have to be able to check what you've been doing, check what's been successful, check where you are, because look at what you just said. The mindset that you have.
So, Mr. Darryl, what should the conversation be like if you have an opposing partner? What should the conversation be like to try to persuade them to go along with your participating in the movement?
So the mindset that you all have, right? The mindset that you already have is really what's going to catapult and take you to the next dimension. It's really why your business grew 3 times when most people lost everything. When people were struggling for, to make ends meet, and your business grew by 3 times by what you just said, is that mindset. So at some point we have to shift and check our mindsets as to why, we are where we are. Because as something has to change in you if it doesn't change.
Right. Let me ask you another question. You talking about, because everything you said, people spend money on what they want to from a value standpoint. And you just mentioned a number of $9. Let me ask the two of you, being able to glean from someone like a Miss Dyer or Dr. Bythewood, tell me the value of hearing the finance doctor and what he does and the inspiration that he provides and the execution that Ms. Dyer delivers and our other educators. Talk to our audience about that, because you guys are stylists and you guys charge a premium for that, but a real premium.
Yes, premium.
But speak to the value of being able to, at 2 times a week, hearing a gentleman like a Dr. Bythewood, the finance doctor, and the multiple times that Ms. Dyer graces the platform. Can you listen? Because you said something that you said cut cash, and preservation. So can you speak to that to our listening audience before we close out?
Okay, so what I'll say a little bit first. I'll say first. So first of all, y'all have to understand Dr. Bythewood is hilarious. So when I look forward to listening to him at 10 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. And again, it's not like your traditional training or talk. Like you actually, it's a conversation. You're asking questions, especially when it comes to finances. So it's not even just about the movement. Any financial questions that you may have concerning the market, concerning retiring, I mean, anything in the financial market, you have Dr. Bythewood right there, hand in hand, asking you questions. His analogies are amazing. We've made up so many words, I can't even remember at this point. So Dr. Bythewood is amazing. You have Ms. Dyer, who she created and literally birthed the strategy, the cash out strategy. So even to hear her break the strategy down and simplify it, because it definitely is, it might not be easy, but it's very simple. It's 1, 2, 3. And again, you only have to learn it once. So again, another platform where you're asking questions when you don't understand. And then these are people that you can reach out to. So I think even that's more of the value, where you're not untouchable, you're not unreachable. I don't have to wait to Tuesday or Thursday, to talk. You're tangible, you're available. And I think that's what makes the difference and what makes the movement so valuable, because there's a genuine love, I feel, that the movement has for the individuals. If you want change and you're putting in the energy and the effort, you all are going to make sure those individuals are getting what they need to be successful. So for me, it's just the relationship and the knowledge and the education and the empowerment all put together to just help you go to the next level. Because you can have the money, but again, if you don't have the mindset, if you don't have the personal development, then you're gonna fall. You know what I mean? So you can have the personal development, but if you don't have the mentors and the skill set. So I just think it, as a collaboration of the entire movement, you just cannot afford.
You cannot.
Make a commitment to yourself.
I mean, and I can just piggyback on that real quick, because really, to be able to talk this, talk to the movement, and just be around knowledge and empowerment. I think this is one of the only ways that I did go to the next level, because 2 years ago, I went through like a major change in life. So it took something to build me up and help me to even be better. And people that watch me, there's some barbers and stylists that really have watched my journey for the last 10 years. And they noticed the last years and change, a major spike on despite of everything that happened in my personal life, everything started to spike. And that, and that's totally with me being around people, being around the movement, that had me thinking better, had me talking different, had me, I even, I got to read more books, but I even read books. And everybody know me, I read the word and that's it. But, I'm just changing the way I do things, and it's really it's like, really, I can't afford not to be part of the movement.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, and wait, can I add to this? Me and Germaine live in the same house. Do you know Mr. Rogers made us buy separate books?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we had to buy separate. Miss Dyer, don't nod on that, because he can read one while I'm reading the other one, and we can switch. But literally, the 5 books, I got my 5. Germaine got his 5.
Yes,
I
literally.
write in my book, so I don't know. I write in mine, so I highlight, write, pencils.
I do too, but that's only gonna help him when I pass the book over.
I might have my own notes. So.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, this has been phenomenal. This broadcast has been priceless. So I'm definitely excited for you all. Now, for those of you all who are listening in, for those of you all who are guests, those of you all who are hearing this broadcast, you want to make sure that you reach out. You want to make sure that you talk to them, because tomorrow at 7:00 they have something special just for you. So you definitely want to make sure, you know, what did they say? Cut, cash, and preserve. So they're going to be talking to you tomorrow about exactly how you can do that. This was your day, this was your time for you to be exposed to understand that it's time to add that third pillar. It's time to take that step. It's time for you to make it happen. So everybody out here loves you. So you want to make sure, you know, that you guys reach out. You want to make sure that you drop a message in there, an inbox. You know, go to our website, beyourownbankmovement.com. You definitely want to do that. And on the website, you can send us a message as well, and we'll make sure that you are connected to this special economic empowerment VIP. This is for you. It is so they can help you understand why we must cut cash and preserve. We have to do it. And so also, it's a system.
It's a system.
Systems is what generate your wealth. We have to make sure we're a part, and you have to make sure you're doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love each and every last one of you all. We are over our time. So we're definitely over our time, but this has just been a phenomenal broadcast. And you understand, we are here to change the world. 2 million families worldwide, financially protected and educated. And what did we just say? You cannot afford not to be a part of the movement.
Absolutely.
God bless, and we will see you all next week.
Thank you.